Moving on, question number 5 comes in from Billy. Hi there, Billy. Thank you for being part of the amazing WiggyWam community. Billy says, we're on a mailing list with a local estate agents who we viewed properties with in the past. I saw a new build property on Rightmove that ticks all the boxes and happens to be listed with that estate agent as the point of contact. I rang them for more information and they booked us in for a site visit at the weekend, but no properties are built yet. The agent couldn't give us any more information other than they'd be completed June 2023. They said we can reserve a plot for £1,000 non-refundable. I've tried to do some research on the developer, etc. The agent couldn't offer this, and it wasn't on Rightmove. I believe it's a local developer, but they don't have any kind of online presence. I've been scammed in the past for something else, and it was painful, so I don't want it to happen again. Does this process sound normal? Well, Billy, thank you for your question. Sounds like an interesting situation you found yourself in there with this particular developer and estate agent. Look, as far as putting reservation deposits down on plots or new builds is concerned, that could be fairly normal practice. But it really does depend on the terms and conditions that you're being asked to sign as a result of parting with that money. And what I would want to know if I was in your position, Billy, is do the terms and conditions run both ways? And what I mean by that is, let's say, for example, we get to June 2023, which is only 6 months away, and that's a quick timeline to start building a house from scratch and all the rest of it. I'm not saying it can't be done. It can, of course. But if it isn't built by June 2023, will you get your money back? Okay. Or are you going to be tied into buying something that isn't yet complete? Or if it isn't built to the standard that's been agreed, will you then be forced to complete on it, even if it's something that you don't like? Okay. Or you don't want it once it's been built. There's all sorts of questions that go around this as to what you're actually being asked to be tied into. One of the things would be, can you afford the property when it comes to the point of actually buying it? Do you need to sit down with a mortgage broker and go through exactly what needs to be in place to allow you to execute the purchase at that time? We were talking 6 months in the future here. Have you got a property of your own that you need to sell, or will the builder take it in part exchange? Will they agree the price and the specification now? Or do they want to leave the price open-ended in case the market moves up in 6 months? This actually happened to a friend of mine last year. They were looking at buying a new build house. They were found the right plot. It was not a cheap house at all. And apparently the builder said there were 6 other people who also wanted it, so they wouldn't tie down a price. Okay. And as the time went on and the house was being finished, the price kind of crept up and crept up and crept up. And then the agent on site called my friend and said, oh, by the way, do you want this house now? And they said, well, we thought you got 6 other people in the queue. They said, well, yeah, but they've kind of found other properties now. And then the price started to come down because, all the competition has started to disappear, and there were less buyers on the market than the builder actually thought there were. So all of these sorts of things need consideration if you were to look at buying this property or this particular plot. And frankly, £1,000 to secure a plot isn't a ton of money, but I would be poring over the reservation agreement very, very carefully before I hand over any cash, just to make sure that I'm not getting myself into a situation that is going to be potentially more expensive to resolve in the future. Okay. And I'll give you an example of this, Billy. Many, many years ago, I've told this story before, but many, many years ago, when I first started in opening my eyes to the world of property investment, okay, I came across a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad, and it talked about buying property as cash flowing assets, but also negative gearing and all this, that, and the other. And I didn't really know what negative gearing was, but then I came across a guy at a property investment conference in Birmingham, and he was an Aussie guy, and he was building properties over in Adelaide, Australia. And he said, look, you can, buy this property. This is the rent you'll get for it. This is, how much money you'll lose every single month, but don't worry, it's a tax write-off and all the rest of it. I was like, oh yeah, that fits in with what I learned from this book, right? Not realizing that the market in Adelaide, Australia is very different to the UK. And what they were doing then was they were banking on the property value going up over time. And that would mean that when I sell the property in the future, I'll make a ton of money. and then I'll be, that'll compensate for the loss that I've made every single month by, by holding that property for that period of time. And I put down about £4,000 to reserve that property, thinking, great, I'm going to be a property investor now and all the rest of it. And then actually, once I started to realize what was going on, like imagine the complications of managing a property the other side of the world, where they're 12 hours ahead, and the tenant's toilet gets blocked, for example. We need to sort out a plumber. Now you've got to have managing agents and all the rest of it, which is no problem. But again, more cost, more loss every single month, and I've got to start covering £250, £300, £400 a month loss on a property. And in the end, I looked at it and went, do you know what? I'll just pull out of the deal. I'll lose my deposit. And I would have had to tie up at least 25. I think the numbers were, I'd have had to tie up £25,000 into that property, and then lost £300 to £400 a month over the course of about 10 years whilst we were waiting for the market to go up. Now, looking back in hindsight, it probably wouldn't have been such a bad play, knowing what I know now and how much the market has moved on in that period of time. But at that time, when I realized that actually you should be buying cash flow positive property, as in property that gives you money every single month rather than costs you money every single month, it was a complete no-brainer to pull out. And just to come back to your situation here, Billy, you, as I say, £1,000 may not be a huge sum of money in the grand scheme of things. This might be £150,000, £200,000 property or more that you're looking to buy. But if you're getting into something that's very onerous, like let's say, for example, they've got the roof on in June 2023 and then the builder goes bust. Okay, now they may have asked you to make stage payments during the course of the build, that they might be reliant upon you, because you're emotionally invested into the deal, to cash flow their build so that they don't have to go to the bank to raise money to fund the development. It's easiest to get it off the person buying the property, right? So if you're making, I don't know, £25,000 stage payments over the course of foundations in, walls are up to first floor, walls are up to roof level, roof goes on, and you paid £25,000 at each stage. Well, what if the builder then goes bust? All these sorts of things need some kind of careful consideration, Billy, so that you're not going to put yourself in a position where it could cost you more in the long term, and there could be major issues at play that you weren't aware of. The list goes on. We could probably sit here all day to talk about all the complications and the issues. Just tread carefully. If you want us to look over the reservation agreement, again, send it in. More than happy to have a face-to-face with you for 10 or 15 minutes to walk you through where I'd be coming from with this particular sort of deal. But it is important to make sure that you've done your work right. And look, it may well be that this could be a perfect opportunity for you to get the right property for you, built to your specification and within the right time frame. I hope it is. I hope the builder's reliable and all the rest of it. Just be careful. The market's in a period of uncertainty. You don't want to commit to something and then your mortgage cost goes up threefold over the course of the next 3 months. All these sorts of things could happen. It's important to build in a factor of safety along the way. And as I say, if you need to do that over a one-to-one phone call with me, I'm more than happy to do that. All right, so good luck, Billy. Hope it all goes well, and let us know if there's anything else we can do to help. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got to the end of today's webinar. I've been really passionate about getting through some of these questions there. You've asked some fantastic questions, which I really, really appreciate you all contributing to this valuable knowledge bank and resource that we're building now within WiggyWam. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to get value out of watching these videos in the future, and also going through these questions. So thank you so much for contributing. As I say, we're here every week doing this week in, week out. So please do share this information with other people in your network. Please share these videos on your social media platforms, etc. And also feel free to submit your questions to us. You can send them in via email, happytohelp@wiggywam.co.uk. That's happytohelp@wiggywam.co.uk. You can also send them through to us on Twitter. Twitter handle is @wiggywam_UK. So that's @wiggywam_UK. Or you can go to our website, which is wiggywam.co.uk, and you can register your profile on there, send questions to us in a direct message, or post them onto our forum, and we'll take them in and we'll answer them each and every week. So thank you once again for watching. Thank you for being part of the amazing WiggyWam community. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for pledging your allegiance to the property revolution, and I look forward to welcoming you on and seeing you on another webinar again in the near future. So thanks once again. Look after yourselves. God bless, and see you very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.